Isn't it true, Mr. Mayor? How do you respond?
It's not the best coming to your press conference.
Yeah. Are you working with KCRA here? Are you teaming up with KCRA?
You know, I may
I thought the
know.
scoop was
No,
on
we're
that.
just gonna have beers later
The
on.
answer is no. I'm working for the people.
All right, this really is a press availability day. If folks have any questions, I'd be glad to address them. One, just want to, let everyone know our hearts, our thoughts and prayers are with Ted Kennedy and the family. Certainly, that's a legend and a lion in the Democratic and in the Senate that was lost for all of us. So certainly thinking about him. I'm proud of the Public Safety Division of Sacramento. The firefighters went up to Auburn to help out. Where the fires are spreading. We sent up 10 trucks and try to be as helpful as we can. I mean, we have to have a regional perspective, and us certainly being able to lend a helping hand is very significant. Westfield, I've been talking a lot about Westfield. Our big focus between now and the end of the year is going to really be getting a good understanding of Westfield and what's happening at the downtown plaza. Certainly looking at JK and L Street, the corridor, in particular how K Street and Westfield and the downtown plaza all connect. We've got to get smart, and we cannot be in a position where we don't have a world-class kind of downtown, regional downtown, where we attract people from all over the region. That particular mall is an eyesore, and we have a lot of work to do in that area. Let's see, what else do I want to hit? Real quick update, track relocation. We made significant progress on the rail yards, on the issue dealing with track relocation. All the key stakeholders have been together. We reached an agreement on that particular track design. And after several years of making progress, we finally got to a point where we were able to move beyond that and finalize that. So that's great progress for all the stakeholders. I'd like to thank city staff, Cherry Way, Fran, and certainly John Blank from the Department of Transportation. And additionally, I want to thank Congresswoman Doris Matsui, Ruth Coleman from State Parks, Union Pacific leaders, and partners from other state and federal agencies. And my last item of the day is the item I'm most excited about. As most of you know, I've been talking about how important it is for Sacramento to be a great city, you need great schools. And I am delighted to say that Secretary of Education Arne Duncan will be visiting Sacramento on Thursday for a full schedule. Arne Duncan is somebody I've known for probably 4 or 5 years, and when I was back in Washington after he got confirmed, he asked how can he be helpful. I said you gotta come out to Sacramento. We as a city want to be on the cutting edge of education reform. We want to be the hub of where real reform is taking place. And I think also California, which has been a history of being a leader when it comes to education reform, is no longer a leader in that particular area. We used to be one of the top states when it comes to academic performance for students. We used to be one of the top states when it comes to spending on per pupil expenditures, and neither of those are the case today. And even more so, California had to make big budget cuts in its last budget cycle. And the Secretary of Education, at the direction of President Obama, has come up with something called Race to the Top funds. There's about $4.5 billion that states can be eligible, but their criteria for evaluating teachers and using student data and their performance has to be used to do those sorts of things. If you are a state that does not allow the evaluation of teachers based on student data, you will not be eligible. What this means for California is California will not get 1 penny of these dollars, and that would not be acceptable for the state. And as mayor of the city of Sacramento, my job is to fight on behalf of the constituents and students of Sacramento, and bringing Secretary Duncan out, having him meet with policy leaders at the state capitol is a significant step in us maybe looking at changing our rules so that we can comply with those state standards. Only 4 states, California and New York being 2 of the 4, are not in compliance. There's no way we can be a leader. We're talking about turning down $300 or $400 million for the state of California, and certainly a significant amount of money for the local school districts here. This is what is going to happen at 5 o'clock. There will be an education town hall from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. You have Secretary Duncan there talking to the general public, including parents and teachers and educators, the business community. He has a very packed schedule from 1 to 2:30 or so, he'll be meeting with policy leaders at the state capitol. 2:45, we're gonna have a back-to-school rally. We put students at the forefront of everything we do. And our message to students during this back-to-school moment is really work very hard in school, set goals when it comes to your education, and then also assume personal responsibility to make sure you're achieving those goals. At 3:45, there'll be a leadership forum where the secretary will be meeting with mayors, superintendent, and school board members. And at 5 o'clock, as I mentioned earlier, there'll be a town hall. At 6 o'clock, there'll be a dialogue with the philanthropic leaders of our community. And then I think at the end of the day, he'll be playing a little hoop with some high school students. So I know the secretary is looking forward to that. We're gonna get our money's worth when he's out here, so he'll get a workout between the time he lands and the time he is scheduled to play basketball. I don't know if they have enough energy to do it at that particular time, but it'll be good for the city of Sacramento. A tremendous opportunity for us to be a leader as a state, and certainly a leader as it relates to the capital city, Sacramento. All right, any questions for you? How are you?
Okay, thanks. The Race to the Top funds, at your education press conference last week, you were talking about how Sacramento couldn't qualify for Race to the Top funds. I'm just a little confused. Is it a state program with like funds that would trickle down to the local level, or is it like a local, I don't know, how does that work?
Yeah, fair enough. So the Race to the Top funds are basically the federal government giving monies to the states.
Okay.
And if the states aren't eligible, then we as local jurisdictions aren't gonna be the recipients of those dollars.
Okay.
So we need the state to be in alignment with those, in compliance with those federal regulations and expectations. And that's why, me bringing Arne Duncan is so important, to get him before the state policy leaders while he's here, both the Senate and the Assembly side, so they can have a good dialogue. I think the Senate certainly understands how important it is. I would like to believe the Assembly does as well. And if we can remove these barriers, then California could be eligible for hundreds of millions of dollars. If that happens, then we as a city and our school districts here will also be eligible for significant funding. If not, then we won't get any of those dollars. So that really hurts our children and certainly the constituents and teachers here in Sacramento. Awesome. Any question for you? You guys are light today. I appreciate it.
Is the town hall meeting open to the public?
Yes,
Okay.
the town hall from 5 to 6
5 to
at the
6.
Sacramento Sacramento Library Gallery
Yeah.
will be open from 5 to 6 to the general public.
Okay.
So,
Great.
you're part of the media though. There's an event earlier that you're also invited to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, another one of our reporters is going to that. But yeah, I just had like members of the public asking me if they could.
Yeah,
come,
please.
so.
Yeah, we want everyone to come out so they can hear President Obama's education agenda.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Great.